All right, welcome back to another weekly watch list. This week was actually kind of choppy in a way that I was looking at the top gainers that we had, and but we had a good trades. We had few good runners, biotechs mostly, not really AI related. Personally, wasn't really focusing on old runners that we had. So yeah. Before I start, I really wanted to kind of like talk about this main discussion today, and that is trading playbook. Most of you that I pretty much know, you guys like 60-50% of you guys do journaling, or even have a trading playbook, which is one of the most essential thing that every trader must have, and every trader must go through the process of it. So I'm just sharing with you my trading playbook. It doesn't necessarily means to be, you should not really copy this and then apply it to yourself, because every person, every trader is different. Mine is different. I have different process. I don't usually it's very different. I mean, you should not kind of copy and paste all this stuff into your playbook. You should get brief understanding and a concept, just the concept of it and how it works, and just sit down and write down what are the trading rules that you follow every single day. And as a reminder, when you sit down behind your desk, when you are ready to trade, just pull up the trading playbook and just go over it. It probably takes you 2 minutes to just go over everything. So that way, it reminds you what are the rules that you need to follow during the day, and it helps you to kind of have a better understanding of how things really works. And it's just reminder, it's just a reminder, mostly a good reminder, because that way you become a consistent trader, become a consistent, profitable trader. Uh, it's just a process. So for me, my trading rules are definitely different. But I have it, for example, when I always tell you guys, I don't trade between that 9 a.m. to 9:35. That's just my rule. I don't like that time frame to place an order, or even focusing on any trade. It usually chopped me out. I just don't like the way that the volatility works that for that time frame. So that's just personally me. I mean, I have it here. And then I don't short earnings. That's another thing that I don't do. And another most part is I have no bias. I mean, I trade long. You guys know that. I trade long, and I also trade short. So I have no bias. I'm not gonna sit down and see. Oh, okay. This is short. I'm gonna entirely think about this move and momentum just on the short side. So I don't think like that. I have a different mindset for it. Interestingly enough, last week we had I think, what was the ticker that we traded on? I think it was on Friday. Um, if I'm not wrong, it was EYPT, data stock actually. Um, I had this short kind of bias at the beginning, but after it just started, um, and I do my due diligence as always. I noticed that high institutional ownership on them. It's about I think it's about 80% above, 89%, 90% above or something. So that was a red flag for me. So what I did was switch over into the long. and that's how I make the most profit out of it, because I didn't have any bias. I cut my short because I knew that it's probably gonna get a squeeze, and I have my stop already, and then I just switch over to take advantage of the long side. Lots of short traders, short bias trader, they don't trade long. They just miss the whole opportunity on the long side because they're entirely thinking of the short process. I mean, that there's nothing wrong with that as long as you know where and how to execute. So that's kind of a rule of thumb of how to not have a bias, and the rest is just my idea. So you don't have to really have the same thing. Your strategy could be different. You might mainly focusing on higher cap float, or higher cap stock, or higher float, or different sector. So it's really comes down to your your plan and how exactly it works. Well, this week, yeah, I mean it's gonna be short. It's gonna be short, and I'll try to keep it short. I didn't really like the action on Tuesday and Wednesday. It was choppy, but definitely we got the runner we needed, and that's a goal. That's a beauty of our community and our trading strategy. It's just we find the runner and then focus on those runner, and that's why I always tell you guys, just narrow down your focus into one or two stock max. This is actually one of my daily process. I don't go against it. If I break any of these rules, I would definitely do a lot of mistakes for that day. And best thing I could do is just quick trading, close my computer, my platform and broker, whatever, and then just move on. I'm not gonna really make my rules to change. I don't change my rules unless if I'm seeing something that doesn't really work for a very long time for me. But it is working for me. It's been my rules for so long. So definitely highly suggest and recommend you guys to have your playbook. This could be on a Word or Excel sheet or Word sheet. Doesn't matter. You can just type it and have it, and every time look at it. You don't have to go pay for these expensive softwares and things like that. So you just kind of want to have that on hand. Even if you can probably just write it down on a piece of paper and have it in front of your computer. So that could help. Anyway, let's get to our watch list this week. But before we start, as always, I'm not a financial advisor, and if you don't like it, just move on, shut it off, go to a different video on YouTube. There's tons of videos. But if you're wanting to learn something, sit tight, because we're gonna go over some of the goodies that we had last week, the week of April. So first off, I'm gonna start with PRST. PRST. This one was I have it on the main watch list for now. This one was definitely the number one grinder. After 3 days we had it, 3 days fade out. Came out on the Monday. I think the news was on Monday. The first news was on Monday, and then they got faded for 3 days in a row. It was definitely a good short opportunities for the second day, first red day, and the second continuation. And as we can see, this cup and handle pattern kind of shaped. You can kind of see that coming. And as far as a trend line, which I mostly use, you can see that the trend line just break out, the downtrend line. So stock is still doing that higher low at the moment. For Friday we had this pop, and we got this out of breakout of the trend downtrend line. What about this? About PRST? PRST had this, I think they came out with the news. They also AI related. So keep that in mind. This is a keyword now. You gotta follow the trend. I always mention that trend is your best friend. If you don't follow the trend, you either missing out so many opportunities or leaving so much money on the table, or you're just someone that doesn't really like the trend. You want to go against what trend is. I mean, that's also okay if you know what exactly you're doing. But following a trend definitely essential for day trading every day, especially on these biotechs and all these stuff that are pumping. So we're just not gonna sit here and watch these. The stock just went 300%, 400%, and just looking at it. That's not how it works. You need to put it in the place, put in the work, and try something out, even one share. So that's something to keep that in mind. And as I said, the AI sector is still hot, still good, in a way that lots of pumpers that are in action. But you got to keep that in mind. The trend can shift to different areas, so it's not going to be mainly an AI stock. It could be AI related. It could be an industrial sector that they're going to do something with the AI driven technology. So you want to kind of see those news, read those catalysts, and focus on those. Obviously, this one, it's the only voice AI company to present at the 2023 Restaurant Leadership Conference. So their conference was on 19th, April 19th, and then most likely after that, it got this huge run up on the 20th. Not on the 22nd, 21st, sorry. 21st. They got this, kind of a huge reversal out of the downtrend, and yeah. So they only have 32 million shares available, with the meat flow kind of relatively lower. And as far as the technical part, I'm looking at this, we have this really tough four level, and obviously the support is still looking good. It's above the VWAP. Had this breakout of the VWAP, make that higher low continuation. So what I'm kind of wanting to see is if this definitely gonna go back above the $4 breakout, and then I have two levels that I top there at 432 and 473. So if those levels clear out, we might see that $5 reclaim and breakout. So that's kind of a theme of the PRST. I don't see much going on with the stock. I mean, obviously they don't have really. So for me, I'm not really looking for that huge gap on this one. I personally wanted to see if this continues with this trend, because I think we had this for the entire week. We had this. I mean, I know the shorts were on this one because it was relatively lower reward on the short side after the second day. So I mean, you can see that it's hold these 250 strong. So yeah, I'm looking to see if this can really continues for momentum into the Monday or Tuesday possibly. And that's our main watch. And I don't have any other main watch, but obviously our back pocket will be CFRX. As it's very thin. I don't personally think that it's gonna have a huge reward on this. I mean, this definitely low trading on a low volume. Even on Monday, stock was even, I think it was trading right around probably in total maybe 25-30 million shares on average. So yeah, I mean, for the stock that has, I think CFRX is a low float stock. It's micro float if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's 0.47 million float. So it can easily move up. So why I put it in the back pocket? They came out with the PR data presentation on 33 annual ECC MID meeting, highlight the potential efficiency and blah blah. So I mean, you know, all these biotechs, so they run up with these trials, they pump their stock by just have these, you know, kind of a headline, but obviously not that something to be important, because they had this on April 20th, and then on April we had the runner on the April 17th. On the 20th, which was Thursday, we had a very small gap above VWAP, but obviously short takeover. You can see that ticks. It's really optics, and that was a nice setup for the short. So yeah, well, what I'm actually looking forward to see if this can really get out of this downtrend and then possibly make a move to the upside for the short covers. If the short covers at this area, I mean, the short flow is it's around 7%, 7.10. So that's actually a decent compared to their float. Yeah, it's 7%, so it increases to that 7%. So yeah, that's something to keep that in mind. Next one we have is WINT. We had it on Monday. Money Monday. It was actually a really good Money Monday. Personally, I commented in the channel, so you guys saw that the WINT was a really decent one, but it got diluted. The dilution. I mean, you can clearly see this thing is just chopped out and never come back. I mean, just you you don't want to just really hold on to these type of stock. I mean, they don't have any reason. I mean, look at the gap. They had three halt up from $4 to the 18. I think WINT was WINT's also a microfloat, biotech microfloat. So on the long side, that was a great move. I think I scalped this a few times into the upside, but I personally don't like the halt action. Halt action is just very when there's a halt festival, you don't really want to sit down and just keep trading that setup, because that setup is just gonna play around with that halt festival, and you don't want to kind of waiting for that 5-minute unhalt, and then next thing you know, you're in that gap, you're in that spread, and just things just chopped out. You can even exit your position. So very, very dangerous when it comes down to that halt strategy playing. So you want to make sure that you have your hotkeys, you have your orders ready. By the time that you place an order, the stock is just dropping $5, $4. So that's something to keep that in mind. The reason I put it on the watch list is just I know that for the fact there's people already bought this at the top, and they're just holding this back, and obviously they want to kind of have that, you know, psychologically you want to see that they buy it, they buy back at the lower price to kind of move the stock higher. And when that happened, you also see the shorts cover. So there's two reasons that you can kind of anticipate to the long side, and that would be the short cover and deep buyers. Otherwise, this thing can just die like this and never come back. So you should not even look at it. I mean, the range is very thin, but on the upside, we could have a decent gap. So I mean, on Friday we had this breakout of the DT. Actually, the DT goes over there. Might have to adjust my line. 1 second. And we're gonna go from the close to this. There we go. Oops, my bad. I keep missing this part. I mean, it's a very thin action, so you don't want you kind of want to grab it from here. There we go. That's more clear. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Looking forward to it and see if that gap can kind of feel, see with the surge in volume. If I'm gonna see the volume is just not gonna get up there to that 2 million level, or at least a million, I would not even bother. I would not even look for this. And they also came out with the news. They announced a pricing of upside. Oh, they have this offering on 20th, Thursday. So the biggest mistake that kind of they did was they didn't announce their offering when the stock was at $18. Kind of late for that. So you can kind of see what kind of management that you're dealing with. What kind of people behind all these companies. So anyway, next one I have PTPI. PTPI was also had that, you know, kind of look that get on that head and shoulder, faded. It's on the fade size on the Friday. The reason that I put it is just I feel like there is an opportunity on the short side. There's a range to the $4, but things can turn around because they came out with the reverse stock split on Thursday. I believe it's on Thursday. Let's take a look. PTPI 1 million float. Not a lot of short on this yet. They came out with the stock reverse split on November. Oh, yes, I think that news was too old for the November, so never mind. PTPI, no news on that actually. Yeah, that was a very old news. I just like the action that we had. PTPI is kind of like a gap and go setup. Personally looking for, I mean, we had this on, I think we traded on 2 days. I personally took this on a scalp side. I only scalp this as I'm more of a scalp trader myself. So yeah, I like that. I like that range to the upside. If shorts are covering, I'll look forward to the upside level, but still has range to the downside. So yeah, that would be kind of the idea. And next one is VYNE. This one is also a gapper. This one was I think we had this on Wednesday. The VYNE. VYNE came out with also a news, and the news on Wednesday was a positive data for inhaled formulation in vivo modeling. So they're biotech pump as always. The range is still good. I mean, look at this. they keep that level. They keep that level. I like that level. That's why I put it on the watch list, because there is some sort of holding momentum in here. There's someone just try to keep the price in that level. So we got to keep that in watch. But the danger would be if the death cross happened. If the death cross happened, the stock can really crush down to $2 level. But VYNE also has only 9 months left on the cash. They're less on cash, so that's one thing to look. And they do have shelf offering, so yeah, I will be very cautious on this one. If any time they try to pump it, but on the upside, not a lot of range, I would say. I mean, the $6 is up there. 519 also another level of resistance that could possibly be a stoppage. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not really looking forward for a longer range on this one, mainly focusing on that gap here. Let's see this consolidation continues, or it's gonna show what's gonna happen to the stock, probably by upcoming week. And USCAR, this garbage is Chinese garbage. Why? Because the Chinese IPO, EV related, and they just pump their orders and just dump it all to the people, to the smart money here, and then retail. That's how you lose money, when you don't know exactly where to buy. That's a danger zone. I don't mess with the IPOs, because IPOs doesn't have a clear direction, doesn't have a history, so you don't want to trade it. You gotta be very, very quick in your trade. If you want to trade them, you just want to be in and out. You don't want to hold anything. It's not holdable, and especially when you see the China name. I mean, why would you even bother? If you want to lose money, there are better ways that you can lose money. So don't worry about it. It's just, pure dump. It's just a pure dump. Because also shorts, I'm not sure if there was any share available. I did not took this trade personally, but we had it. Some of our members scalped this. Congrats to them. But I personally did not like the action. I didn't even consider this as a watch list for myself. But I put it here because I know a lot of you probably like the IPO, and also we're looking for this, huge dilution. What can be dead cat bounce? We want to see that dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce, baby. Why? Because lots of people stuck here. They don't even know where to save themselves. So yeah, I look forward to this one for another push, maybe if it's get above the volume. The volume was decent. Volume on the day on this one, actually. Oops. We're looking at, let's see. UCAR. It's brand new. You're not gonna get much of data. There's not a lot of information. It's just the U Power Limited ordinary shares. It's just a EV Chinese. So you get the memo. 7 million float so far. That's the only information. And average volume was a 5 million so far. That we have 5 million shares traded. So that's decent for an IPO, but you can see that dilution. And last one at least, we have EYPT. This is the one that I talked about on the short side when I was trying to take this puppy down. right exactly here, but I switch over to the long. Because why? I saw that coming. I saw that. Why? Because my rules were telling me, my daily process was telling me, I have no bias. I'm not gonna be short bias on the stock that has it's higher, it's mid float, it's ETB, easy to borrow, and has 90% institutional ownership. Why would I even mess with that on the short side? I mean, this is just a red flag, red flag. Obviously, when you top it out, that was a great time. That was a great time to get on the short side. But I was happy with my long trade, and this was the time that I'm not gonna sit down and kind of like force trading. I'm not gonna sit down here and just see what's gonna happen to make my decision. So yeah, that's EYPT. They came out with the, I think they came out with the news. Strength seen in iPhone pharmaceutical. It's also biotech. They had a decent news. Yeah, so this was also one of those gapper. I mean, right after I was looking for that, crack of. I was waiting patiently, waiting for that 750, 740 actually, 740 crack and continuation, because the money flow were changing. I think that time people were trading. We had this MGRX, and MGRX was kind of a topper, and then that one, it just failed. I didn't put it on the watch list because it's garbage, obviously garbage. Then these garbage, so you don't put crazy rat on the watch list. I try to put the best one for our weekly watch list. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's why EYPT was kind of have that 450. I wanted to kind of see that length, see that crack of 740 level. But once I see the surge into that candle here, and my stop was right around here, I was ready to get a stopped out and switch over, not just getting stopped out and not trading the long side. I wouldn't do that. I mean, if you're a smart trader, if you know what exactly you're doing, you should see that coming. You should see that if something is opposite of your plan, opposite of your trading plan, and when you can execute it on the other side, why not? So that's what I did basically. I just kind of waited for that, and then huge gap up, huge volume surge. Obviously, I was long, and then I took my profit at this level, which was the next resistance. I didn't want to hold on to it, but that break of the resistance, I think it got halted up. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I was happy with my profit up here. I wasn't really wanted to mess around because it was Fast Money Friday, and I don't mess around in Fast Money Friday. I don't like to do that. That's my discipline. That's my plan. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean to be you, but I'm trying to encourage you guys to do the same thing, because you need to understand the cycles. You need to know what day are best to have a better what days are best to increase your sizing or decrease your sizing. And overall, for the past months, my sizings are highly it's very different than what I was trading in the past 6 months. So that's something also to note. But yeah, after that we got this another dip and runner. So I have this on the main watch as well. Kind of like this. I want to see if this one continue and come up with the with more news probably soon. Anyway, that's it. That's our wrap for the weekly watch this. So hopefully you guys learned something new, and definitely if you have any questions, just reach out to me, reach out to the support, and get on the board with me. I wanna do my best to teach you guys what I know. So get on the board, have a one-on-one mentorship with me. You can have a free call, and then we can go over your mistake and see what exactly you're doing, and then I'll suggest you what's best for you if you need more session. Obviously, it's not everything. You cannot learn everything in one session. I mean, that's the truth. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to have your playbook. Get your playbook. That's very important. And make your own playbook. All right, team. Take care. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.